Hello and welcome to the Wondermongers,
where we talk about the strange and freakish things in our slice of the world. I'm Christina.
And I'm Quincy. Let's wonder, monger.
By the way, we're recording now.
Oh, great. Hi.
Maybe we should get closer to the microphone. We're gonna get so close. Oh no! This is starting off so well.
I hate it. I hate it here.
Hello?
Hi.
We sound like we're the most drunk.
We sound like dying geese is what we sound like.
Both.
Both.
Why not?
Drunk dying geese.
That's what it is.
Well, welcome to this episode of the Wondermongers.
Should we explain?
Yeah, we should probably explain.
Great.
We went to record today and my mic decided it just didn't want to work. Like, it does not connect. It's not the computers. It's not the cables. Like, my mic, I think it died. So
It's taking a mental health day.
So we are up close and personal, big cozy, on one microphone.
The biggest of cozy. Like, she can see all of my pores right now. And I am freaking out because I am 10 years older than her.
You know, I'm more focused on making sure I'm picking up on this mic, so.
Fair. So, this episode's gonna sound different, probably.
But it's okay. We hope y'all stick around and bear with us while we get through whatever this is. Trials and tribulations of 2024.
You know, we're starting it off right.
With Microphone Gate.
Microphone Gate, that's it. That's the title of this episode.
Great. Okay. So, last week we had Jake here. You heard the episode? How'd that go?
It went.
You don't sound confident.
You know, neither did he during the entire episode.
Yeah, I know. I was sitting there the whole time and I was like, energy. Bring that energy. Nope.
Does he ever, though? I think the only time
Yes.
I've ever seen him excited is when he's talking about, like, computer stuff.
Yep.
Or if he's like, there's a timer in a game that we're playing. That's it.
You know, that's really fair. I have to agree with you. He also gets really excited with antennas.
Specifically antennas.
He likes him an antenna.
Okay. Well, neat, Jake.
So last week the question was posed, what does the inside of your brain look like? So, Christina, enlighten us.
You know, with the chaos of the microphone situation, I've thought about this 0%. But if I had to guess, it's like my house is. It's got really chaotically not organized at all spots. But for the most part, everything's pretty clean. Everything's pretty chill. You know, it's cozy in there. But I do have chaos rummaging around in the corners.
Okay. So where do you store your information then? Are they just like on the floor?
It depends. If I'm going down a little rabbit hole or something, then yes, it's all on the floor. It's all right there, and I'm just trying to get it together. However, if it's just information that I'm trying to pull, it's like in the back of my closet.
That's hilarious.
My brain is my house.
Are they on hangers?
No. Why would thoughts be on hangers?
I don't know. Like, sometimes they're in filing cabinets, so I thought maybe you folded it up real nice and put them on hangers. I don't know. I don't know your brain. That's why I'm asking.
All right, fair. Like, would you use hangers?
I have filing cabinets.
Okay, so no.
And I have that big... My brain looks like the inside, like when I'm making ideas and stuff, and like my constant brain looks like when you pin a bunch of shit to the wall and start winding string and stuff.
Oh, yeah, you were talking about that last episode. Like a cork board or something. Yep. Okay, I got you. Well...
No hangers for me.
No, 0 hangers. Why would you organize that stuff when you have string?
Correct.
All right, well, now we know. Happy that we know, I guess.
Okay, so you know how a couple episodes ago I was talking about how I got a cat from the random cat delivery system?
Yes, the universe said, here you go.
Yeah, have a cat?
Yeah.
And we were calling him Oliver for ease of talking about this cat.
Yes.
Fun fact, we found that cat at home. It's not with us. We had a very lovely couple come and adopt said cat. You will never guess what they named him.
You know, I already know the name of this cat, so, like, I definitely didn't anticipate this name in any way, shape, or form. So, hit the listeners with it.
His name is Dremel.
And, like, I could see that for a cat that looks like Garfield. Munchkin, squished-faced. I get it. It makes sense. This was a gorgeous, beautiful cat. Still is a gorgeous, beautiful cat. Dremel ain't it. I'll tell you that.
I know, he kind of looks like a Silky, I would imagine, like the mythical creature.
Okay.
Or like, I don't know, he looks very majestic. Like he should have been named after a Greek god or something, but no, his name is Dremel. I love it. I love it so much. Speaking of things I love.
Yeah.
Jake has gotten me hooked on Stardew Valley now.
And I don't know what that is.
That's really okay. I didn't really know what it was either. I knew the premise of the fact that there are people online that take this really seriously.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Like, so you can, like, farm and mine and fight little goblin things, and I'm very new into this game. I don't really know what I'm doing. But I also found out that you can have relationships. And, like, get married and have kids.
Interesting.
It's like if The Sims and Animal Crossing and, like, I don't know, some other game, Minecraft maybe, because they mine, like, got shoved into, like, one game.
Okay.
And it's really fun. It's, like, really interesting. However, I know this because people were vastly obsessed with who of the 26 characters you could, like, date and marry. And there are, like, fan favorites. Like, there's this emo one. Like, there's this, like, emo guy. And then there's, like, and they all have jobs. I'm befriending Clint first. His name is Clint. And he is I think, like, what do you call them? The people who, like make swords and stuff. What do you call them?
A smith?
A smith, yeah.
Like a blacksmith?
He's a blacksmith.
Okay. That's where my name derives from. Originally, it's Smith and then turned into Schmidt down the line because German. That's not my last name now, but
no.
I feel comfortable sharing it because it's no longer my name.
Great. I'm so happy for you. Speaking of last names that we don't have anymore, I feel like I was robbed.
I need so much information right now.
So, I didn't take my husband's last name.
Correct.
So I still have my original last name, but I have ancestors, like, a couple generations back who, like, before, like, they changed their name through, like, adoption or something.
Okay.
But the name that they were given was Deshane.
Okay.
And Deshane is such a fucking cool last name. Like, I love the last name Deshane. It is so good. And, like, before that, in France, it was, like, Deshanus or something. And I think it sounds so good. And then I feel like I got robbed, like, by, like, some ancestor of mine getting adopted. Which, like, good for them. Like, they survived being adopted. Like, whatever.
Right.
But I feel like my last name is so much worse than that.
Lackluster in comparison.
Oh, intensely lackluster compared to that. Like, there's so many good last names out there, and mine is not one of them.
I'm so sorry.
You know, it's okay.
But you had a choice here.
I did.
You know, you chose to stick with your name that you don't particularly think is interesting instead of taking your husband's last name.
Oh, yeah. Just because I don't think my last name is interesting doesn't mean that I'm not, like, so emotionally connected to it.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm one of those people that puts a lot of stock into names, and I've had my name forever, and I was like, I lived with this for 20 years when I got married. I'm not changing it now.
All right, live it. Like, I definitely changed my name, and I feel good about it. I'm not mad at my old last name. It's just,
no offense, Mama J, but I think you moved up in the world. Like, no offense to your mom.
My mother?
Yeah. And
oh, you
her
think
last
that
name and all that good stuff. You know.
She moved up?
No, I think you moved up.
Oh, I moved up.
You moved up.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's just a, like, I don't put that much stock in names. Like, unless they're really, really stupid sounding, then I'm like, oh, all right.
My mom. My mom worked with a woman named Areola.
Oh, no. Darling baby girl, change that.
I know, that's what I said.
Immediately.
That's what I said. And we the amount of times we spent around the dinner table talking about people's first names or their last names or whatever. They're like, how did they do that? You know, she worked with a woman named Blessing and her little sister named More Blessing.
Okay, Blessing, fine. Live it.
More Blessing.
More Blessing needs to stop.
You know, and she worked with people who had, like, really cool, like, cultural names that I had never heard of, you know?
Yeah.
Like, she worked with a woman named Yeshi.
That's pretty cool.
And I was like, that's an awesome name. And I was like, tell me more. Blessing and More Blessing. And I was like, well, we went downhill.
Choices have been made, for sure.
That is one reason I'd want to work in a place that gets a lot of paperwork for people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, my mom works with, like, paperwork with a lot of people's names, and sometimes she'll just call me and she'll be like, you'll never fucking believe what this dude's name is. And I'm like, you gotta tell me now. And it's been a minute since she's told me somebody, because, like, I don't even, like, 100% know what she does. Like, she's explained it to me, but it's one of those things that, like, I don't fully understand.
Okay.
So, but every once in a while, she'll just call me, and she's like, I talked to a man on the phone today. And his name was...
Dremel.
I wish.
He said meow meow. Meow meow meow.
Take me home. Meow meow meow. Let me inside. Anyway. So I hear you're a herbivore now.
Well, you know... I was a herbivore before, but thanks.
Dinos don't eat bread, Christina. Dinosaurs don't eat bread.
Can we put that on a shirt one day?
Yes.
Wonderful. Dinos don't eat bread, and neither do I anymore. Because apparently it hurts me. And I had no idea.
Your body tries to fist fight the gluten, and your body loses.
Correct. I have had, like... issues my entire life, and I thought, well, that's just how people are, and I thought it was normal and it was fine. And I decided last week to just drop gluten and see how I feel, because I was not feeling good basically the entirety of holidays, which was not great. I don't recommend that, but I thought the culprit might be gluten because I have a little medical family history of bodies not liking gluten and gluten not liking them. So I took a shot in the dark. I'm going to go to a doctor's appointment. Don't freak out.
You're welcome.
I'm actually going to go get this checked out proper, but I wanted to test it first. And so far, all week, I have felt like a person
Yay!
that I've never been before, and it's freaking me out. Is this how you feel? Well, not you, but is this how normal people feel all the time? Apparently.
You're asking the wrong person.
Yeah. I realized that after it came out of my face, I was like, maybe I don't ask you in
when
particular.
they get off, like, if I wasn't on a bunch of medication for GI issues, I'm sure, like, I feel pretty good now, so I'm gonna go with yes.
Great.
This is how normal people should feel.
Well, hot slam.
Hot slam?
Yeah.
What is
Have
that?
I not said that in front of you yet? Oh, she did. She hot slammed it.
What is that?
It's just the kid-friendly version.
Oh!
Yeah, that's all.
Well, hot damn. There are no kids here. And if there are, what are you doing here?
Genuine question.
Like,
What are you doing here?
like, if you're here, I would hope you're related to one of us in some fashion.
Fingers crossed.
Otherwise, if there's just like a 12-year-old kid out here like listening, what are you doing here? Do your parents know you're listening? Oh my God. Okay, actually at 12, I was doing a lot of things that my parents didn't know about. So if you want to keep listening, go ahead. Yeah, I'm sure you'll learn a lot. Speaking of learning a lot.
Yeah.
Legume.
Yes, legume.
Is that how you pronounce it? Legume.
Yeah, like just think how would a
Linguine?
French person say this word?
Legume.
That's not that's not even close to how I would assume a French person would say it. Legume, like it's two O's or something.
Legume. What is legume? What is it?
It's a fancy restaurant. It's specifically a fancy vegan restaurant. The chef that developed all these recipes came from a Michelin 2-star restaurant, and so he knows his shit. And it's supposed to be one of those hoity-toity places that you dress up real nice.
Yeah.
We dressed okay.
we wore our nicest jeans
And a shirt, not a t-shirt, just anything not a t-shirt and sweatpants and all that.
I wore a sweater from Kohl's. Did I buy it at Kohl's? I did not.
It was like a secondhand thrift stop. Yeah. So, we went there and we ate, and it was
Oh my God.
an experience. Like, we spent too much money.
Oh my God. We spent way too much fucking money.
However, I would not change a
You
damn
should
thing.
DM us with a guess on how much. Okay, so it was 8 courses,
Yes.
and we did wine tasting.
Yeah, we did wine
with
pairings.
it. Wine pairings, that's what it was. And 2 Michelin Star Chef.
And it's vegan food.
And it's vegan food. And we're in Korea. So you should DM us and
Give us an idea of what you
think the 4 of us cost.
Yeah, together.
You're gonna get wrong.
So wrong.
I've never had white wine before.
Ever?
Ever.
Oh, well,
It was very good.
I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
I am not gonna lie, I was very drunk by the end of that meal.
I think we all were.
We were 5 glasses of wine.
Like, I think Jake and I were better off than you and Steven.
Oh,
However,
God.
I was still feeling, toasty for sure.
I almost cried over a pepper.
You did, actually. You look like you were having a full-on experience with this pepper. Like, it was a singular red pepper filled with some sort of spiced stuffing, and it was cut up, and that was the entire dish. It was just one pepper, and she's over here.
It wasn't even a big pepper.
It was like a
It was
medium-
not a bell pepper. It was
No.
like a...
No, it was like if you'd ever gone to a store and you see a jalapeno, but it's the bigger jalapeno is that size.
But it was red, and I was having a full-on moment because it smelled exactly like the food my best friend's dad used to cook when I was growing up, and I would go over and be like, I can't eat Indian food, that'll kill me, and he'd go, it's okay, but he would just be oh, it smelled so good, and the pepper itself was really good. I don't know, I had a full-on godly experience with this pepper.
And I would imagine that's what chefs are after. They're after moments where you can feel something.
Yeah.
You can look back on your childhood and be like, oh, that was it.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if I ever have to eat the weird pumpkin slime again, I am rioting.
It was not that bad.
Oh, it was so bad.
I thought it was going to be soup. It was not soup.
It was
a custard, but it was made out of pumpkin seeds.
And there was celery in it.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for the celery, but honestly, it kind of worked.
The wine was good. And we had a mushroom steak. I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah, it was a I think it's a king oyster mushroom. And they did a good job with it.
Oh my God.
It tasted really good.
And potato soup.
Oh, the potato soup hit.
And what was the other thing?
I think that was the last thing I had that had wheat in it, was that bread that came with it.
Oh, that was so good. There was one other thing that we were like, yeah, about. I don't remember what it was.
I'm trying to remember. I remember there was a cabbage slice that looked like pizza, but it wasn't.
Yeah, that was weird. It was good, but it was. He set it down. And I'm like, dude, this is a piece of cabbage, and it was hot. I was like, man, this is a hot piece of cabbage.
I'm sorry. Do you consume cabbage that's not hot?
Up until recently, I don't think I consumed cabbage.
That's a hot piece of cabbage. What are you doing to me, sir? What do you do with your cabbage, ma'am?
Now I put it in stir fries because my husband insists on it.
So you have it hot.
Yeah, but
Great.
I don't think before we moved here that I ate cabbage.
Ever?
And before I moved here, I mean 2 months ago. like, before I started figuring out how to cook, I don't think I ate cabbage.
Huh. Because, like, that kind of surprises me because of how you were raised.
Oh, my grandmother made this awful thing.
Okay.
Corned beef and cabbage. Yeah. And it was just, like, watery. Oh, it was so bad. And so I outlawed cabbage.
I feel like with the amount of stories that you've told me about your grandmother's cooking, I feel like you should just never consume things that she creates in the kitchen. I'm sorry. But also not, because I have no firsthand experience. However,
oh God,
the stories that I hear.
Oh yeah,
like rice has been ruined for you for a certain amount of your life, and then you got back to it because you got proper rice.
Oh yeah, how she would make stuffed peppers, but the rice would be undercooked in them,
or crunchy rice.
Crunchy. Or she would make the dessert rice. What is it called? Baked rice. And it's got...
I don't know that. I know rice pudding, and that's about all I got.
It's baked rice, and it's, like, rice and cream and all this stuff, and there's, like, raisins in it. And...
Raisins? What is wrong with that side of the world? Y'all gotta stop, okay?
Well,
stop calling things a salad when you're throwing, like, dried fruit and fucking, like... Jello. And it's, like, pistachio Jello. Is that why pistachio Jello exists?
Oh, it's so good.
I'm gonna let you think that.
It's pistachio pudding Jello. But yeah, I found a recipe for vegan frog eye salad, and I'm gonna make it for you.
That doesn't sound appetizing. I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't know what's in it, but it doesn't sound appetizing.
Noodles.
Can I have those noodles?
Well, I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, this was before you decided to ex-nay gluten from your body, so...
Yeah, sorry about that, but also not, because I feel great.
Great!
I feel like a fucking superhero. I can do anything. Come at me.
Okay. Like, we have a lot left to talk about, because it's been a minute since you and I talked, so I'm sure it'll bleed into next episode. But...
Rapid fire, let's talk about these things.
Oh, okay. Legume was so good, and there was like that whiskey white wine. It was really good. Anyway,
correct.
And we got kind of drunk, and it was really fun. And Steve and I tried to escape you two by running into the subway.
You really tried, and as soon as you guys went down, Jake and I looked at each other and were like, "Are they trying to run away? They're not going to get very far, are they? They're going downstairs, and they're drunk." So we were like, "We'll catch up."
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And probably a terrible idea, but we did it anyway. Speaking of things that are going to be a lot of fun, but a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Top Gun, the drinking game.
Two of them.
Okay, so I found out drinking games were a thing. And I might be late to the party because, like, I didn't go to college and I didn't have friends that were into doing drinking games and stuff. Like, I didn't, like, drink with friends in high school and whatever. So I'm catching up. So, drinking game.
Yes.
And I went through and I went online and I found all the different drinking games for Top Gun and I picked out the best things and I smushed them into our own. I will release them. I will put them out onto our Instagram.
Okay.
So y'all can play along too. Why do you need Top Gun to be a drinking game, Christina?
I'm mad because you're going to make me bring up the man, the myth, the legend. When I don't want him to be brought up in every single episode, but here it is. Tom fucking Cruise, I can only handle a certain amount of him before I need a drink.
And how much is that?
5 minutes.
How did you make it? Did we drink when we watched the first Mission Impossible?
No, we should have.
That was all your husband's doing.
But honestly, watching Mission Impossible now...
Hysterical.
It's so funny. Like, you get, like, the high that you get from drinking... You got it straight up, just
in the veins.
And they're so serious. That's the problem. That's the thing. That's why it's so funny right now.
Speaking of things that are good, Tunnel Girl. You showed me one video, and I think that's all the information you know, too. Yeah,
right?
that is all the information I know. So there's this woman who I don't think she has any sort of degree in anything having to do with building tunnels or architecture or anything.
I don't know.
But she started tunneling under her home. And she's done a lot. Like, she's even built, like, pumps and stuff. Water's been coming into her tunnel as she's been making it. So she built, like, a sump pump system to, like, pump the extra water out and stuff. And all of her neighbors are like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that could, like, the structural integrity of under our houses, like, this is fucked up.
Yeah.
But one of the issues is that she has neighbors who are not documented. So they're afraid to go to the police or whoever and be like, or the homeowners association or whoever it is, right?
Yeah.
Be like, this woman is tunneling under her home.
Yeah. But, like, the way that I understood the explanation that you sent me was they didn't even know what she was doing until it was already, like, so much was happening. And, like, that's how you know you don't have nosy neighbors. Just tunnel under your house and see if you got nosy neighbors that way. That's the way.
I remember when my grandfather, like, dug out, we call it the mud room. It was, like, this room, like, that when my grandparents bought the house, that it wasn't, like, fully done. And it was, like, it's underneath their property. And my grandfather dug it out and, like, put up walls and stuff, and it's now used for storage.
Okay.
So they have all of their, like, Christmas decorations in there, all their canned food, all that good stuff. And it's, like, really cool, you know? Like, they have, like, I remember it being, like, ooh, grown up. But it's literally just, like, like, how country homes have cellars.
Yeah.
Except it's just underneath their normal house instead of being, like, you know what I mean? Because they have a basement, so it's, like, adjacent. Anyway.
Yeah.
But I remember, like, I was really young, but I remember the neighbors going, what are you doing? Where's all this dirt coming from? Because he'd lug it up, like, 2 Home Depot buckets at a time.
Oh.
You know, and be like, where's all this dirt coming from? And, yeah, Tunnel Girl does not have nosy enough neighbors.
Nope. That's all I got for that one.
Also, going around on TikTok right now, 9-month cruises.
I don't know what that is at all.
I really don't have much information on it. All I know is people are going on a cruise for 9 months out of the year. It's one cruise.
Okay.
I don't know where this cruise is going. Can you imagine being stuck on one, like, the same boat with the same, say, 300 people for 9 months?
If you start off in the first week, you already found someone that you find annoying. No.
Yeah, I'd have a best friend and an enemy by the time we got off this boat.
Yeah, 100%. But, you know, if something goes wrong in this 9-month cruise, like, maybe you get stranded somewhere because you ran out of fuel. Do cruise ships have morgues? I don't know. I feel like that's information that you probably had somewhere in that brain of yours, but no?
I'm going to Google the hell out of that. I got to know.
All right.
It's like, what happened? So cruise ships are for, like, old people, right? Like, not really. Like, more and more young people are going on cruises.
Yeah.
But, like, in my head, when you think of cruises, I think of, like, those, like, decrepit, like, 90-year-old women who are like, I don't want to live at home. Like, in the winter, I go on cruises instead of staying where it's cold, right?
Yeah. It's the new Florida.
Yeah, it's cruises.
Because Florida got fucking crazy.
So, because, like, I know younger people go on cruises. Like, I have family members who cruise and all that stuff. Like, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about, like, the ancient people.
Right, the people that actually go into casinos.
Yeah. It's not narrowing out my family, thanks.
I wasn't talking about your family.
Anyway, like, somebody's gotta like, people die all the time.
I would imagine so. But, like, they have several stops in cruises.
Right.
So I would imagine, I mean, you just hold
But, like,
them
if
in
somebody
something.
dies, like, say you're leaving one stop and it's, like, another 6 days before you get to the next, do they just put the body in, like, the kitchen freezer? Like, what happened?
I don't know, but I have a feeling you're going to have a watering hole all about it at some point.
I'm so excited for that information. So, speaking of going on trips.
I'm going to Japan, like,
Woo.
in a couple of days. Actually, by the time that you guys listen to this episode, I'm on a plane. I'm going. Like, it's already a done deal. I'm happening over there. I'm happening. That's a weird way of putting it.
It's happening.
Yeah, that one. But yeah, I'm going to Japan. I'm going to be there for 2 weeks.
Where are you going? What you doing?
We're going to go to Yokohama. That is just outside of Tokyo.
Great.
That's where one of my oldest friends in the world, actually probably my oldest friend, lives. She, maybe 2 years out of high school, she moved to Japan. And She was actually here in South Korea for 1 year. And then she went back to Japan, but she's pretty much been there ever since. She got a husband. She does translation work. She's got a son now, and I've never gone out to visit her, and I want to. So we're here. I may as well.
This is very exciting. I'm very excited for you.
And like my husband, he's like a quarter Japanese. So that is another, bonus to us going specifically to Japan. He gets to see the culture a little bit. He gets to explore a few things. And, he's also led by his stomach, so he wants to eat Yokohama ramen. So it's going to be a great time.
He has a whole thing about the Yokohama ramen thing.
Yes, because in Wichita, Kansas, there is one particular restaurant that is quite big. When I mean big, I mean it's popular. Not actually literally big. It's a very small restaurant.
Okay.
However, their big thing is it's ramen straight from Yokohama. Like the people came over to America.
Settled in Wichita, Kansas.
Of all places. And he's like, I need to know. I need to know if it's exactly as good as they're making it seem.
I'm so excited to find out.
Yeah.
And you have to tell me if Japan lives up to the hype. Because I know it's like one of the places where they're like, if you're in Korea, you have to go. And I've had no desire.
Fair enough.
I also had no desire to ever go to Korea.
Also fair enough.
I live here now. And it's fantastic.
100%. Yeah.
However,
it would, like when I was still living in the States and I had only gone to European countries before, not once had I ever thought, wow, I need to hit Asia. But here I am, and it's wonderful. So broadening your horizons is definitely good. Right. But I'll definitely let you know if it's worth the hype and everything.
I had never left the country until I moved to Korea. Moving to Korea was my very first time leaving the country.
Nuts. You're going to love Europe the one time eventually that you're going to go.
I know.
Or maybe multiple. I don't know your life.
I'm just waiting for... So, I think we're going to end up back in the U.S., right, for a couple years after this, but I feel like we're going to end up back in Europe somewhere. Oh, yeah? To my mom's dismay.
I mean, she's not going. She can live with it.
I'm excited. I'm very excited for you, and you'll have to let me know how it goes.
Yeah.
Speaking of things I'm excited about.
Go ahead. Talk about it. You've been wanting to talk about it the whole episode. Hit us. Hit us with it.
So my close friend Volt, best friend Volt, whatever you want to call it, I struggle with the term best friends because you're my best friend, but my husband's my best friend, and there are people out there that are like, you can only have one best friend, and I'm like, that's not true.
I always view it as a tier, You've got friends, and then you've got your best friends, the ones that you're really close with. Yeah. Picking one, that's high school bullshit.
Yeah.
Actually, that's elementary school bullshit. Fuck that.
I think if I have to pick one, I think it's Cinder.
Big shock.
Anyway.
I thought it was going to be Garfield.
See, Garfield's everybody's favorite. Anyway, that's a conversation for another time. People idolize my little man. People are like, Cinder's cute, but let me see Garfield. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Stephen Markowitz. Hoodie Allen. Yes. So, my friend Volt and I, in March, are going to see Hoodie Allen in concert, right? And I am stoked. I haven't seen Hoodie Allen live since I was 14, I think. And if you don't know, there's this website called Cameo. Okay. This is not a sponsor thing. This is just the information you need for this, which I've never used, and I've only heard in the memes. Apparently, famous people or whoever go on and are like, hey, I will send messages to people, or I will record videos saying whatever you want, happy birthday, happy new year, whatever, right? It's typically a birthday thing or a congratulations on your new job or whatever, right? So people go on and they pay whatever it is, the famous person's fee, and they get a little information about what you want them to say, and then they record this video. And so I got a video from Volt in my email for Christmas from Hoodie Allen, and it was the most exciting thing, because one, I didn't know he was on Cameo, because I've only ever seen Cameo in the sense that famous people are on there that are charging $500 a minute.
Oh my God.
So I always was like, this is not a real thing. People don't use this, right? And I was like, how much money was this? And Bolt was like, it was so much less than what you would think it would be. And I was like, that's so comforting to hear.
And honestly, I never thought about Hoodie Allen a whole lot before I met you, to be perfectly honest. He's fine, but there's nothing that sticks out for me when it comes to him. However, the things that I have learned since meeting you, I am not surprised that he doesn't charge up the wazoo for this shit.
He doesn't charge up the wazoo for anything, dude.
Right. Like, he's very down to earth, very cool, very chill. And I appreciate that.
He's one of my favorite people in this whole world. And he had sent out this, like, mass, like, Instagram DM to everybody because, like, Instagram does that thing where, like, it's like Twitter, but for just Instagram. It's not Threads, but it's, like, the other thing. It's
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's, like, Instagram. It's a broadcast channel on Instagram.
Oh, yeah. I don't fuck with that. I don't know what the fuck that is. I just know that, like, I'll get notifications from random famous people that I follow, and they're like, they wanted to invite you specifically. And I'm like, no, they didn't. Fuck off. They did not.
Anyway, I'm on a handful. Like, I'm on the one for the abs, and I'm on Hoodie Allen's, and I'm on, like, the smaller artists because it's, like, Twitter, but I don't have to fuck with Twitter. You know, it's not a whole other app. It, like, comes as, like, a direct message would. You know, so it's in the app I already use.
Okay.
And he had sent out this message that was like, hey, it literally says, guys, I don't know what the set list for the tour should be. What do you want to see in the set list, right? So I had messaged him, and I was like, hey, if you're looking for set list recommendations, remind me of from the album Happy Camper. And he literally was like, I don't know if it's popular enough, but I'll keep it into consideration. I'm like, you know.
Yeah,
I figured as much.
You got to think about it's a set list. It's not.
I know.
You know, you're.
He was like, "What do you want to hear?" And I'd be like, "I'm blatantly honest with you. That's what I want to hear."
Clearly, he appreciated it. However,
anyway,
that ain't it.
Well, thank you, and I'm still reeling about that. And it was great. It was great. It was a really good time. Anyway, that I think. Anything? Do you have anything else you want to talk about this week?
No. Do we have a question?
Oh.
If you were on a 9-month cruise with somebody.
Oh, yeah. Who would you want to be on a 9-month cruise with? That's the best question. You could be eating soup. You could be buying camping. It does not matter. Who would you want to be on a 9-month cruise? Like, who would your cruise ship best friend be, and who would your cruise ship enemy be?
Ooh.
By the end of the 9 months.
I love that.
Hit us up at The Wondermongers on Instagram, on YouTube, here on Spotify, wherever. You know, we're on social media. Come find us. Who's your cruise ship best friend and enemy? And with that, love you, bye.
Love you, bye.